Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. So yesterday we heard, and it was amazing news for all Manchester United fans, that the Glazers were considering putting Manchester United up for partial sale and investment, or on a wholesale, sell the whole club. That is what we heard yesterday. The Glazers then announced that via a statement from Manchester United, that they were looking for further investment into the club, which could also include a full sale of the club. Manchester United fans rejoiced, and we were hoping we would hear loads of people lining up to bid for the club, and we have heard just that. Obviously, we have Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who has been linked with buying and bidding for the club for an awfully long time, so long so that recently, as recently as this year, he said that he wanted to bid, and he would have bid for the club last summer if the Glazers were open to sale, but they were not open to sell the club, so he didn't make a bid. And he said he wouldn't wait around forever. He hasn't had to wait forever because the moment has arrived where he can bid. And we'll be looking at plenty of reports today linking Jim Ratcliffe with a bid for the club, linking Apple with a bid for the club, and also linking an investment corporation of Dubai with a bid for the club as well. There's plenty of people lining up a move for Man United, one of the biggest names in the world, whether it's sporting or otherwise. You're going to expect a load of bidders coming in, and I think especially when you look at the amount of people that came forward for buying Chelsea, you've seen Liverpool recently go on the market. There's no surprise that plenty of people will be interested in buying Manchester United. Now, Jim Ratcliffe feels like one where, you know, he speaks about how he was at the game in 1999 and is a Manchester United fan. He already has an interest in sports investments and those kind of things. So it feels like Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos could be an ideal move. But is it the kind of move that would see us compete at the level that some clubs want us to? Could there be a few issues with that? Let's have a look. But this is what the news is regarding that today. It says, exclusive, Sir Jim Ratcliffe will bid for Manchester United. The billionaire's renewed interest in buying United is said to be serious, with the Glazers seeking reinvestment or a partial or full sale. Sir Jim Ratcliffe will launch a bid to buy the club. This report came from the Telegraph. Will launch a bid to buy Manchester United after the Glazers announced they are ready to sell. United confirmed their US owners are open to sale in a sensational statement on Tuesday night, in which they underlined their desire to explore strategic alternatives to enhance the club's growth. Those alternatives include new investment into the club, a sale, or other transactions, suggesting the Glazers are now prepared to listen to offers after 17 years at Old Trafford. Now, I think exploring strategic alternatives is a fancy way of saying we're looking to make our way out, whether slowly or quickly. And also, they're not going to come out and say, oh God, we need to sell, because it weakens their stance in terms of bargaining for the club. So saying that they're looking for investment or a partial sale, and then negotiating for a sale, it still leaves them that wiggle room to potentially back out of it. It could also mean that they just want some investment. But as we have heard from Sir Jim Ratcliffe before, when people are spending that kind of money, they don't want to be spending that kind of money to just be partial investors. They're going to want to control everything. So I can't see there being many people that will want that, you know, little bit of investment in United, unless it was with a view to take full control eventually. So that is where we're at the moment. And remember, these things can take a while, but those are the reports on Jim Ratcliffe's and Ineos's bid to potentially buy Manchester United, and they could make a bid very soon. The Glazers being reported to want anywhere from $4 to $9 billion for the club. Obviously, huge amounts of money. But Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his team have always said that they wouldn't be looking to overpay for Manchester United. Again, bargaining position, and Jim Ratcliffe, I'm sure, will be consulting others and possibly be creating a consortium of bidders to potentially buy Manchester United. Someone else interested who wouldn't need a consortium is Apple, and we hear Apple are interested in buying Man United and making the Red Devils the richest club in the world. Exclusive, Manchester United could have significantly more funds at their disposal than both City and Newcastle should technology giants Apple complete a blockbuster takeover. There's been links with Apple. Again, nothing serious at this moment in time. You're probably thinking the most serious is Jim Ratcliffe because we've heard of it before, but you'd imagine there'll be plenty more names and consortiums coming to the front, and there'll be a couple of names popping up that we've probably never ever heard of before. Apple being linked with a bid for Manchester United, and imagine what that would do. I went to the new camp recently, and it's sponsored by Spotify, and you just see that everywhere. You'd imagine United becoming something like that, although being owned by Apple would probably be and look, they've got probably their moral issues of their own, and you know, all those kind of things, but it would feel a little bit more palatable than being owned by a state nation. I don't really want to be owned by a state nation, to be honest with you. Manchester United are a club that create substantial amounts of wealth and should be able to sustain themselves and competing at the top level. We don't need a sugar daddy, and I don't want to be like any state. You know what I mean? Like just any state, whether it was the British state or whoever. We're being linked also with like people in Dubai and things. I kind of don't want that ownership. I don't want to be used as a sports washing exercise. The Apple story goes on to say Apple are the largest tech company in the world with an annual revenue of almost 326 billion, an estimated net worth as of this month of 2 trillion. The California-based firm have no experience of owning a football club the size of United, but CEO Tim Cook, or Tim Apple, as he's otherwise known, is keen to explore the opportunities owning United could provide, and will line up talks with the banks appointed to oversee the sale, which include the Rain Group. And it wouldn't surprise me to see these kind of people interested in United, because as I said, Manchester United, and everyone knows it, we're a worldly recognised name, and I hate to use this when we're a football club, but a brand name as well. Something that stands out, like the things like Apple and all these kind of things. So there'll be plenty of people interested in buying Manchester United, plenty more than there would have been in terms of Chelsea and Liverpool. We also hear reports that the Investment Corporation of Dubai are in the running to buy Manchester United as well. You'd imagine they'd have no trouble in terms of putting up the money and investing into the club and making a stadium and all those kind of things. But again, I don't really want to be state owned. You know, you look at City, you look at Newcastle, that isn't for me. And those clubs kind of need those kind of owners if they want to compete. I don't think Manchester United do. You know, so yeah, that's where we're at with all these things though. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, a lot of these things are just rumours at this moment in time. Who knows what else will pop up. But that's the latest. So Jim Ratcliffe being linked, Apple being linked. We're also hearing obviously the Dubai group being linked as well. Plenty of people being linked with Dubai, with the bid for Manchester United as the Glazers put us up for sale. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll be back very soon.